What's going on, family? We are back with brand new Windwaker today. And today, the song is called Click, featuring RinRin. I am not familiar with the artist RinRin today, but I am pretty familiar with Windwaker. Shout out to them. And we have to give a shout out to our good Jesus Christ, if I could talk today. Was just trying to think of what I was trying to say, and then I finally remembered, and then I got ahead of myself. That's what happens around here. But we don't be editing this shit out. One take, yo. One take, friends. One take, friends only. Okay, we had to give a shout out to Yulita, because Yulita was like, yo, the new Wind Waker is super fire. Can't wait for you to check this shit out. So I was like, yes, we're going to have to do it. We will have to absolutely do it. She had already dove deep into the RinRin discography. And she said, yo, the feature, I've already looked. They're fire as fuck. So you are going to love what you see and what you hear with this. So we're here. Shout out to Yulita. Let's fucking check it out, man. The song is called Click. Let's do it.
Cracked out on the sidewalk. Outside burning Bibles. Got caught in a spiral. And now it's viral. Let's go! Gotta stay offline. I don't vibe with the cameras. Little screens with string making damage. Gotta hide for their rolling dice for the D&D. Never catch you me. What the fuck you mean? They're always watching. Always watching. It's closing in. They're closing in. Cause they're always watching. Always watching. But it's getting under my skin. Give us a smile. You're on camera. Give us a smile. You're on camera. Can you feel it? Feel it? Feel it? With eyes wide, always in it. In it. In it. In the digital. There's a class when everybody's watching you now. Gotta keep it. Keep it. Keep it together now before they see it. See it. See it. They're preying on your downfall. No one is safe.
Oh my god.
Gotta keep the visual, bitch, I better be decked out. I'ma have to cop a new fit every time I go out. Popping pillies like the 80s, get real shady, get real crazy, cause the pressure gets to me. When it's touching me, I crash out. What I gotta say, what you wanna know? On the road, let me keep that shit breathing. I'm a star, and I'm ready when I fall.
Free for the taking. No liberation. No one to save us. Can you feel it? Feel it? Feel it? With eyes wide, always in it. In it. In it. In the digital. There's a class when everybody's watching you now. Gotta keep it. Keep it. Keep it together now before they see it. See it. See it. They're preying on your downfall. They're all around. No one is safe.
Got the goosebumps, man.
I got my mask up, with my head aiming down. I'm walking faster, gotta keep on looking around. They keep on pressing me and testing me to give them some clicks as they're closing in my location that they got from some pics. And they got my info, checking my window scouts, and they know what they're waiting to catch my downfall. They're all around and I don't feel safe. Can you feel it? Feel it? Feel it? With eyes wide, always in it. In it. In it. In the digital. There's a class when everybody's watching you now. Gotta keep it. Keep it. Keep it together now before they see it. See it. See it. They're preying on your downfall. They're all around and no one is safe. You're on camera. Give it a smile. You're on camera. Give it a smile. You're on camera. They're all around and no one is safe.
Oh my god. That shit gave me the goosebumps, fam. Did they put the lyrics in here? They totally did. I would say before we even like do anything with the lyrics, I feel like I would say my first thought is like I feel um like my overall impression of like the song is like it feels like a lot, but you know, just off a first listen without really dissecting too much of the lyrics, just like off of the first listen this way, it feels a lot like the idea of basically when it feels like you always have to like be on all the time, where like you like there's like, you know, there's never really like a time where you can really be have like an off switch, um especially like when I think about like from the perspective like of a band or like the artist, like when you have to like meet people at shows and stuff like that, and you know just like interact like so constantly, just to have like, you know, try to like build a fan base, you know, at merch booths and things like that, right? Whereas like, you know, you have to just like constantly be on. I was thinking about that the other day at the show, where when, you know, it sucks like when on for somebody even like myself, like when you have like an off day, you're not really allowed to have like an off day when like in the same position, right? Where when like the idea that there's always somebody watching you, you know what I'm saying? And I think that you can kind of tie that to a lot of things, like just really like in life in general, where I think a lot of times like because everybody has a phone in their pocket, like nobody's able really to do like to enjoy themselves like really probably in ways that we probably did before like cell phones really existed that way. You know what I'm saying? Where I've heard people talk about that, like in the idea of like just even like club culture, where like people like won't really dance at clubs because everybody has a phone and you could be recorded. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like I said, like, you know, when I listened to this song, that's what I took away from like a lot of like the perspective of like just like the idea that like you're always kind of being watched, and it's always like you're always have this potential to be on camera. So like you really, can you even be yourself? Can people really, are we suppressing like the human experience this way? Where like, you know, I remember like when I was growing up, fam, like you used to see people freak out at stores. Like, you know what I mean? And people would just kind of just stand by and just kind of watch it happen, because it was, you know, somebody that was just pissed off because of whatever reason they wanted their return back or some shit. You know what I mean? Like that would just happen. But now everybody has a phone, so it like suppresses a lot of those probably activities, which is probably a good and bad thing. You know what I mean? In so many ways, where the way that society I think just moves differently, because everybody is like almost like feels like you're being watched. And I feel like even when it comes to just like the idea of like, I don't know, like this surveillance when it comes to safety and within governments and like where we just live, we're just very always on camera. You know what I mean? In some sort of way. We're very like brought into a very like digital world, whether you kind of really want to or not. Does that make sense? So like I feel like when it comes to like the like a lot of like the lyrics, like the first take, I feel like it kind of just ties to a lot of different things that way. Cracked out on the sidewalk, outside burning Bibles, get caught in a spiral. Outside burning Bibles, and now it's viral. Gotta stay offline. I don't vibe with the cameras, little screens. We gotta stream, making damage. Gotta hide. Better roll the dice. Phone on D&D. Never catch me. What the fuck you mean? They're always watching. They're always watching. They're always closing in, and they're always watching. They're always watching, and it's getting under my skin. Give us a smile. You're on camera. Give us a smile. You're on camera. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? With eyes wide, always in it. In a digital, there's a cost where everybody's watching you now. There's a cost when everybody is watching you now. Gotta keep it up. Gotta keep up. Together now before they see it, and they're preying on our downfall. They're around and no one is safe. There's a cost when everybody's watching you now. You know, this is like the most random like thought, but I remember I remember during the Super Bowl this year, there was an ad that was promoting the idea of using your security cameras in your backyard to help people who had lost their dogs in your neighborhood. And that it was all going to connect together to help these dogs be united with their families. And I was like, the first thing that I thought was, wow, that is just a gateway into the next thing. You know what I'm saying? Where they could just hack into your home security system for the sake of whatever. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And it just rubbed me the wrong way. And I feel like when you talk about like there's a cost when everybody's watching you now, I feel like that's kind of the cost, right? Where everything has like a give and take to it. You know what I mean? And things for for somebody like myself who lived in a world where like really before everybody had a cell phone, before basically everybody had a camera in their pocket, and before there was literally cameras just literally every fucking where. Like I think about like even just the difference of like when I look at my life, and my mom was to put like a scrapbook together, you know what I'm saying, of my fucking life. Like it's just that these couple of pictures throughout time from Polaroid cameras or shit or some disposable. But then like when I think about like most generations now, there's a whole fucking catalog of videos and fucking pictures from like every single moment of your fucking life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like you've been under surveillance of this your entire, and we just got used to it. You got used to being recorded all the time and all this kinds of stuff. Where I don't know, man. I feel like at points such dangerous things. I'm getting into all kinds of wild shit today with this thought process. But again, I think when you talk about just the there's a lot of, I feel like things that come with that. There's a lot of a pitfall that I think a lot of things come with, and I feel like we're watching some of those things happen now through the art of music that way. Because I feel like when a lot of people are using their artistic expression to talk about the same subject matters, I think that's what art is supposed to do and draw attention to the conversation. So I think this is what that's doing. You know what I'm saying? Gotta keep the visual. Bitch, I better be decked out. I'ma have to cop a new fit every time I go out. Popping pillies like the 80s. Get real shady. Get real crazy. Because the pressure gets to me. When it's testing me, I crash out. What you're trying to say, what you want to know, all eyes are on me. Keep that shit PG. Again, the PG thing where it's like people aren't going to act like themselves essentially because they're being like recorded. So it's going to like suppress certain things, right? Or you can't do or be a certain way because it might affect XYZ. You know what I mean? There's a lot of tie-ins, I think, with all of these conversations. Sold information free for the taking. Sold information free for the taking. No liberation. And no one to save us. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? With eyes wide in it. I got my mask up, click, with my head aiming down. I'm walking faster. Gotta keep on looking around. They keep on pressing me and testing me to give them some clicks. You can tie. Never mind. I had a thought and I was like, no, that doesn't really make any sense. I was like, oh, that's a tie together to a previous line he said in a different song, but I'm like, not really. As they close into my location, they got from some pics. Yeah, that sounds some wild shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not up enough on your technology, like people will go the next degree and the next like level. You know what I mean? Especially like, you know, from this like, perspective of like the artist, right? Where it's like, oh, I figured out where you were because of a picture that you took and that you posted. Again, like it's like there's always a give and take to like the things that are like technically, I guess, like benefits in some things, but like there's always again some sort of pitfall that with everything, right? And they got my info, checking my windows, got to lay low while they're waiting to catch my downfall. They're all around, and I don't feel safe. Basically, just constantly feeling like you really, like, you know, really are always having to be on that way, where like you have to always like be watched. You're always being watched, you know. We did not boost the video yet. We did not see what the comments have to say about this. I can't believe that Windwalkers and Windwaker are two different bands. What? What they say in the replies here. I discovered one by thinking it was the other. Don't forget the Bless the Fall side project called Windwaker, but got renamed High Wind. Everybody's like the source of metalcore music in the comment section. And one day they give us a Whirlwind PF a tour together. It's okay. Do these guys like? Maybe they don't even fuck with each other. You know what I'm saying? Sleep Token, Sleep Theory, Silent Theory, Silent Planet. I see what you're saying. I see what he's saying there. I'll tell you, only one of those bands suck. I won't tell you which one. Y'all can figure it out, fam. Y'all can figure it out. I guess these boys can't miss on a song. I kind of agree, bro. I kind of agree. I feel like this. I've been a fan of this band since Hybrid. I almost called it Hybrid Theory. Oh my god, Hyperviolence. And they're fucking dope, man. They're fucking dope. I don't know if this is like the intro to like we got some new music coming on the way. I would be really stoked about that. I would be super stoked about that. I feel like this is like almost like a good like stepping point, like I guess from the last project. Does that make sense? I feel like it sounds very like on for like the band's like sound this way. It just sounds like elevated and heavier. Does it make a little bit sense? Where I'm like, I like the way that they added more like guitars into the song. They still have a lot of like the electronic kind of feel to it as well. That's our good friend Yulita. And I feel like it has like all like the same like things that I like love about the band. Kind of like all tied up into like the next chapter. Does that make sense? Somebody just feels like very like on brand for like what their sound is right now. And I feel like they'll continue to like, you know, evolve and grow that way. So I think they sound sick. I hope they're playing this shit live because their show is coming up in Philly like real soon. So I'm stoked about that shit. And yeah, I think that's all I got for this one, guys. I've been talking quite a bit, man. I know, shut up, Johnny. Shut up. Nobody cares this much. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Yulita. Definitely want to appreciate her. Yeah, that's all I got, friends. Be kind of a stranger. Tell somebody you love them. And if you haven't joined the Fox Shop family, it's always here. Hey, yo.